In a world with no ranking, no safety rating, and no clean online racing, one man has had to come to the rescue. In 2016, players of Assetto Corsa were set free. Now, in 2018, Sim Racing System comes to R3E.
Granted, we were a little bit late on dropping that bombshell, but we had tea to drink and all that business. Now, firstly, for those of you that don't know what Sim Racing System is, I don't know how you can't know, you should know by now, but if you don't, what it is it's a sort of mod version of the iRacing infrastructure, in that you set up a free account, go to simracingsystem.com, make an account, use your real name, and then you get ranked online racing with safety rating in Assetto Corsa and now in Race Room Racing Experience. The installation of Sim Racing System for Race Room Racing Experience is slightly different than that for AC. You need to make sure you've got an account, but then you need to follow the instructions very carefully on the website. But really, it's just a case of downloading the specific zip file for Race Room Racing Experience, putting it in the right folder it tells you on the website, and then changing some account settings on your Sim Racing System account to match your username, and making sure that your username in Race Room Racing Experience is your same name that's in your Sim Racing System account. It sounds confusing, and the first time you load it up, you're going to think, oh god, I need to be Einstein to understand this, but just follow the instructions bit by bit, take your time, and all will work very well. In terms of specific nuggets, golden nuggets of usability for this, I would say you need to make sure when you run the Sim Racing System for Race Room Racing Experience, you don't have Race Room Racing Experience running in the background. Otherwise, when you click join, it won't work properly. You have to make sure the game is off, Sim Racing System is on, and Sim Racing System will then launch the game. And you also remember, when you click join when the session is about to start, you will get a Steam notification that you have to click OK on. That Steam notification might be behind the Sim Racing System window, so if you click join, nothing happens. Just move the window and check if that Steam notification is there. But other than that, when I've done it, I just click join, notification comes up, game loads up, and you're in the server, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Happy, mostly crash-free race time, initiate. And it's not an understatement to say that Sim Racing System utterly transforms Race Room Racing Experience. Prior to Sim Racing System, there was no way other than league racing to get essentially jump-in high-quality racing in Race Room Racing Experience, which was a real shame, because Race Room Racing Experience has some fantastic cars, really nice tracks, ear-bleedingly good audio, and a bunch of other features that are amazing, but you're like, well, I can't race with other people, so I'm not going to play it much unless you do a league, which, you have to be true train spotter sim dedicated to get involved with a league, and not everyone can just organise their time around it. Not everybody lives inside of a sim rig. But now, as I say, thanks to Sim Racing System, every hour or so there's a race you can join, and surprisingly as well, or not surprisingly, the participation is absolutely mental. After about 4 PM, we're talking European time, let's face it, Greenwich, anything close to Greenwich Mean Time, Greenwich of course being the centre of the entire planet, hence why everyone bases their time off Greenwich. I mean, why no other reason. But as long as you're playing round about European evening time, we've had races where there's been 100 people registering to them. So many people have started registering to Sim Racing System from Race Room that Sim Racing System has had to increase their servers, and the servers have occasionally had a little bit of trouble just due to the sheer surprising popularity of Race Room Racing Experience. It's been more popular than the Assetto Corsa Sim Racing System races. Now, it is worth bearing in mind, if you want to join a race, you do need at least one of the cars that's in the series that's racing. So, for example, if you wanted to join the GT3 race, you just need one GT3 car. You don't need all of them. And, of course, you should just get the Porsche 911, because that's the best GT3 car in Race Room. Obviously, no arguments there. Gamer muscle has spoken. The truth has been told. And you'll also, of course, need the circuit that it's racing on for that week. So cheapest way to do it, if you're concerned about that, which is a totally reasonable concern, make sure you've got the track, make sure you've got one car, And also make sure when you're buying the stuff, go through the Race Room store and buy VRP through the Race Room store to then buy the stuff, because it's 30% cheaper than buying it on Steam. Welcome to the convoluted digital world of content purchasing. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's the disco dance that you have to do to play Race Room. Now, so far, I've done about 5 or 6 races. We've been streaming it, and as I say, it's been absolutely fantastic. But of particular note so far have been the GT3 races this week at Portimao, which is Teletubby Land, tarmacked, and placed in Portugal. But there's more blind corners on this circuit than a blind institute day out on a roller coaster, but that's half the fun. It does make it tricky to learn, but once you do start to get it and you're nailing those corners, running over Teletubbies is absolutely fantastic. And really, because of the Porsche 911, which I've just said earlier is the best GT3 car in racing, so you know, the only car you should be driving, but because that car has really fantastic lift off, oversteer on the throttle, oversteer and oversteer from when you turn the wheel, it really just carves into those corners, and it makes the track just a real joy to drive, and really fun battling side by side with people, something I haven't had that much experience with until Race Room Race Experience was added to Sim Racing System. Because on the public servers with Portimao, which is actually one of the free tracks, it would just be people just be crashing on T1, but on Sim Racing System, people actually do full races, and they're proper 20-minute races with a proper qualifying, so it's all nicely structured, and you feel like you've got something to work towards. You actually feel like the end result matters to some extent, even though it doesn't. Your life is still a failure, but you can pretend it's worth something, and you know, you can pretend that your time was well spent because you've got these stats and everything stored there. And then it progresses to the next week, and at the end of the season, you'll see where you placed against everyone else. If you're me, it will be somewhere at the bottom of the screen, but if you're really fast, you might be at the top of the screen. So you could then get some butter out, rub it on your chest because you've extended your E-pin, which, you know, congratulations, well done. I'm happy at the bottom of the screen. I'm not bitter at all about people at the top of the screen. I'm just going to go and cry in the corner for a few minutes. All in all, and all said and done, Sim Racing System has utterly transmogrified, transformed, transitioned, and changed for the better Race Room Racing experience. And now I found myself playing it even more. I mean, I started playing it even more beforehand as we got lost in some of the GT3 content. But now, with the ranking, safety rating, well, it does have safety rating, but safer racing due to safety ratings, or punishment for people that drive erratically, irresponsibly and dangerously, is just much better. And you don't have to have an organised league, all that crap. You can just every hour, assuming it's after about 3 PM or so, there have been races all through the day, but pretty much every hour, jump in, you can have a good race. That's pretty much what you want from a driving simulator. So well done, Enrique. What an absolute legend. This guy has just done it by himself. He's single-handedly, he's like Jesus of sim racing. He's just appeared, and he's walking on water, he's cutting up bread, he's giving wine to everyone, and we can all get drunk and praise him, Lord of competitive, safe, proper online racing. Praise Enrique. That's what I'm getting to. So totally free to use, sign up to it, use a real name, get down tonight and have a good time. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this sort of content. Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. Click the like button or dislike. You know, I'm already crying in the corner from my poor performance, so you can't ruin my day anymore. And we're going to be streaming this tonight, tomorrow night, every night, and most of the time we're on Sim Racing System. So if you do subscribe, you'll be notified when we go live, and you'll catch us. But until the next video, which will be very soon indeed. Thanks for watching. Happy tea drinking, everybody. Goodbye. And by the way, I didn't win this race, so you don't need to see the end of it. It was just convenient background footage of Sim Racing System. Goodbye. Subscribe. Subscribe.